everyone, it is I, Mr. Horgan here. Last September was the Price is Right's 43rd season, and it also marked the 5-year anniversary that I have been doing pricing game recaps on my YouTube channel for the longest running game show in television history. So I was thinking of doing this as a way to celebrate my 5-year anniversary doing these recaps, and that's to give out the top 5 favorite pricing game recaps that I have done solo. And with the Price is Right's 44th season beginning next week, I figured I'd do something like this before the new season comes. So, with that said, here are my top 5 favorite solo pricing game recaps, counting down from 5 to 1. Coming in at number 5 was the recap I did back on February 12th, 2010. That was during season 38. It was the Valentine's Day show. All couples were the contestants, and the highlight of that show slash recap I did that night was, it was a perfect show. I was very excited to do that recap that night. It was my first recap that I've done where the results were a perfect show. And I actually did a little giveaway for that, and that was won by T-Dog at 888, I believe his YouTube username was. So, February 12th, 2010, the Valentine's Day show comes in at number 5 on favorite solo pricing and recaps. Coming in at number 4 was the recap I did back on April Fool's Day 2011. This was during season 39, and the Price is Right April Fool's Day gag that year was them celebrating the 10,000th episode. There was a lot of mishappenings that took place on that show, such as a few examples were Rachel and Manuela, I believe, knocking over a TV as the first item up for bids. And also, speaking of Rachel, she crashed the Ford Mustang into door number 3 for Lucky 7. Who can forget about that? Also, Rachel demonstrating tennis equipment for an item up for bids and hitting George Gray with the tennis balls. Funny stuff. But the recap I did on that night involved me using different game show sounds, such as for Family Feud, Tic-Tac-Dough, The Joker's Wild, Password Plus. I did a little sound from there. Jeopardy, Card Sharks, Super Password. I used some sounds from those classic game shows. Oh, and Match Game. And my attire was different. I was wearing a Press Your Luck t-shirt that involved the whammies. And I was wearing a Mr. Anderson hat. Mr. Anderson is a TNA wrestler. In WWE, he was known as Mr. Kennedy, so I wore that. And the camera I used, I had it upside down. So I thought I did some very creative work on that recap. So that comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, from June 19th, 2014, during season 42. On that day, the very first $25,000 winner in Punch-A-Bunch was crowned, and that was Linda. It was something us Price is Right fans have been wanting to watch happen since Punch-A-Bunch upped its top prize to $25,000 back from season 37. And it took us a little over 6 years to have someone win the top prize in Punch-A-Bunch. The last time the top prize was won before June 19, 2014 was from 2008 during season 36 when $10,000 was still the top prize, and that was when it was last won. But on June 19, 2014, Linda won $25,000 playing Punch-a-Bunch. And the way I built up the suspense on that playing was, was absolutely unbelievable. I had a lot of fun doing that recap with the first $25,000 win in Punch-a-Bunch. Alright, coming in at number 2 is the recap I did back on April 24th, 2013. This is during season 41, and it was day 3 of Big Money Week. And the highlight of that show was, well, you thought the first $25,000 winner in Punch-a-Bunch was something. Well, there was something that was more bigger than that. And that was the first $100,000 winner in Pay the Rent. And that person's name was Ani. Pay the Rent made its debut on the first show of season 39, and since it debuted, there have been some big $10,000 wins and some $5,000 wins. There were on 2 separate occasions I can recall that $100,000 would have been won. But the contestants who quit at $10,000, those respective contestants, would have had the $100,000. That was very painful. It kind of felt like we were never going to get that $100,000 win we so wanted. But when the show aired on April 24th, all doubters were proven wrong. Ani went all the way to win $100,000 in Pay the Rent. It was a moment I will never forget. And I know all of you watching will never forget that either. And the suspense that I had built for that exciting result that night, it was absolutely historic. Oh man, loved it, absolutely loved it. Okay, and the #1 favorite solo pricing game recap that I've ever done on my channel was back on December 31st, 2013, New Year's Eve. This was during season 42. The highlight of the final Price is Right that aired in 2013 was A Perfect Show! Oh yeah, that's right, a perfect show to end 2013 on The Price is Right. And I once again, just like how Bob used to do it, I built my own suspense on to give away that final result of the pricing game that was played where the perfect show was on the line, and that was Bullseye. Thankfully, we followed through, and a perfect show took place. 6 for 6 on New Year's Eve. Oh, these were the 5 best solo pricing game recaps that I've ever done. And I have to say, I know I'll be definitely making more great pricing game recaps come season 44. So, the next special upload I will have shared on my channel will be another top 5 list. But it will involve recaps that I've done with other members of the Pricing Game Recap team. Whether it being with one other member or more than one. So that'll be my next upload on my channel. Until then, I am Mr. Horgan, reminding you to help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Bye!